Hey there, sales champions, and welcome back to Blackwood Academy Sales Tip of the Day. Today, we're diving into one of the most common challenges in sales, handling price objection. If you've ever heard the phrase, it's too expensive, or we don't have the budget, you know how frustrating it can be. But here's the kicker. Price is rarely the real objection. If it's value enough, they're gonna pay for it. If it's good enough, the price really doesn't matter. So in this video, we're gonna explore the psychology behind price resistance, why it happens, and how you can overcome it by reframing your product as an investment. Plus, I'll give you some actionable strategies as always, like price anchoring and value stacking to turn the objection into a closed deal. So let's look at the first thing, like let's see why price is rarely the real objection. So, by understanding why people object to price, most of the time it's not about cost itself. It's about the perceived value. Here's what psychology tells us, like fear of loss. Prospects fear spending money because they don't fully believe the return will outweigh the cost. This is a cognitive bias called loss aversion. People feel the pain of losing money more intensely than the joy of gaining something of equal value. They did a research on this once where they asked them like to rate from 1 to like 10 how happy they were, and they rated themselves. I can't remember what it was. Let's say 7. Then they gave them $100, and they asked them like, "How happy are you now?" And they said, "Well, I'm about 8." And then they took the $100 back, and then asked them to rate them again, and they were down to like 6 or 5 or something. So it was like the loss of that $100, even though they didn't have it before, was more than gaining the $100. So it is a fear of loss. They want to know that they're getting something in return for what they're paying for it. It's lack of understanding. If your prospect doesn't see the connection between their problem and your solution, they'll default to price as an objection. It's just an easy out. It's just, it's an easy thing to say. It's too expensive. Then to admit, look, I don't know how this is going to solve my issue. So it's a cop out sometimes, and most of the time, even if it's good enough, it will actually pay for itself, and it's not an issue to use the money. And also, of course, comparison paralysis. Without context, prospects will compare your price to the cheapest alternative, even if the two aren't of equal value. So one of the actionable tips to start off with, shift the conversation away from the cost to value. For example, instead of focusing on the price tag, highlight how your solution solves a specific problem, save times, or generates more revenue. Like you never want to get into a fight with a prospect. If they say it's too expensive, you don't want to go, no, it's not. Or look, it's not that expensive. Like, or you're wrong. You don't want to go into an argument. It's even better to just go, hey, look, I know it's expensive, but here are the reasons why it is expensive. Or this is why. Like, this is the value you're getting. So you're reframing it. And if we look at that, for example, of like how you can reframe it, you know, it's you want to reframe your product or service as an investment, not as a cost. So a key to overcoming the price objection is changing how your prospect perceives the transaction. You're not selling a cost, you're offering an investment. So return on investment, ROI framing. Show how your product or service delivers measurable results or returns. For example, if your solution saves 10 hours a week of work, calculate the monetary value of those saved hours. Or if it lowers the sales cycle, how many more sales will they get? So it will help you to future pace as well, helping your prospect imagine a future better with your solution. Instead of saying this will cost you $1,000, say this will help you increase revenue by 20% over the next year. So you want to reframe it so it isn't just that this is the price. And the cost of inaction, of course. Highlight the risk of doing nothing. For example, if you don't address this, now you could be spending 30% more on repairs in the next 6 months. Whatever it is, you got to figure it out with your service or product. But these are some of the ways. Return of investment framing, future pacing, cost of inaction. So, actionable tip on this would be use visuals like graphics, numbers, case studies. Demonstrate the value in black and white so they can really see it and they can really feel it. People trust numbers and stories more than claims. Like the video yesterday about storytelling. You want to have a case study and you want to sell it. So go back to that video, see how we did it there, and you're going to be way better off. So the next little tactic that we can learn is price anchoring. Now, for some of you sales docs out there that have been in the game like me for 20 years, you know exactly what this is, but a good song is never sung too often. So price anchoring is a psychological tactic where you set a reference point that makes your actual price seem reasonable. So high anchor first. Start with higher priced options before presenting your main offer. For example, our premium package is $10,000, but our standard package is only $5,000. This is going to make the standard package look like a much better deal. I had a long discussion once with a guy that ran a concession stand because his popcorn was kind of funnily priced, but brilliantly. So it was basically, and look, I'm going to make up the prices because I can't really remember what they were, but it was basically a small was $3, medium was 5, and the big one was 9. So I thought it was just funny. How do you jump? Because the relative sizes of it were the same, but how do you jump from $3 to $5 and then 9? $2 increase and then $4 increase. But the psychology behind it is that that made the medium popcorn. It seemed like a great deal because it was just a small jump from the small one. So the upsell of, look, you can take the small one, but you can go for the medium. That's $5, and the big one is 9. It showed that, like, oh wait, this is just a small price to pay for a lot more. But they made so much money on the mediums anyway that the psychology behind it was brilliant. It made the medium one seem like a steal. So this is just a brilliant tactic. So always anchor the price before you present your actual price. Go high. Like we talked about with the premium package. If you're selling a software for onboarding, onboarding staff, like we talked about in previous videos, go for, look, the enterprise package is $6,000, the $6,000 a year, but the starter package is 2,000. It's going to look like it's a deal and a half. So anchor high and then present your actual price. It makes your offer feel like a bargain. What else can we do? Well, look, there's value stacking. So value stacking is just basically showing how much your prospect is going to get for the price they pay. It's listing off every benefit, breaking down even the every feature and explain its benefits. For example, you're not just getting a software, you're getting an onboarding support, 24/7 customer service, and ongoing updates. So it's just not the software, it's everything else in between. Add bonuses, include extra sweeteners to the deal. For example, sign up today and you also get a free consultation and 1 year warranty. Whatever else you can throw in there. And frame the savings. So if you offer a discount on a bundle deal, emphasize what they're saving. For example, look, if you act now, you're going to get something that's worth $2,000 for just 1,500. So, an actionable tip on this, always over communicate the value. If your prospect sees 3 times the value of what they're paying, the price objection is just gonna, it's just gonna disappear like the dodo bird. It's gonna go away. So these are one of the many tactics you can use, and these are pretty simple ones that you can use straight off the bat. So handling the price objection with confidence. Now, we talked about it before. When price objections come up, how do you respond is critical. So here's the framework that we offer here. Acknowledge the concern, show empathy. Hey, look, I understand this feels like a big investment. Then you want to reframe the conversation, shift to the value. For example, let's talk about what this investment will actually do for your business over the next year. Ask a strategic question, dig deeper into uncovering the real objection. For example, is it the upfront cost or something else that's holding you back? And then close with a confidence, everything we talked about. It almost doesn't matter what you're saying, it's how you're saying it with the confidence you deliver it with. And with a clear call of action, hey, I'm confident that this will deliver result and I'd love to help you get started right away. So, actionable tip in this, practice handling price objections in the role playing as we beat that drum again and again on this channel. Role play with your team. It will bring you guys closer. You'll all learn something and you can practice this again and again and again. And it's going to become second nature to you. The more you rehearse it, the more naturally confident you're going to be. Well, look, let's end this video. Let's, go in for a little bit of you know, look, it's basically psychology, like we all done there. So, there you have it. The psychology of pricing and how to handle objections is in this video. You can read it, you can watch it again. And remember, the price isn't the issue, it's the perceived value that is. By using strategies like framing, price anchoring, value stacking, you can shift the conversation and close a lot more deals. So, look, as always, if you found this video helpful, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you don't miss the next tip. And as always, check out my Udemy course for more in-depth sales strategy. And look, let's go turn those objections into opportunities and close some more deals. So I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Ciao.